But WWE did not want that smoke.
What's up, everyone? Shakiel Mahjouri here, and you know who this is. He is a WWE Hall of Famer, World Heavyweight Champion, and you can catch him at Baja Bash 2 on Saturday, June 28th. The next time you're struggling to open that jar of pickles, just remember that this man is out here pulling double tractors. The world's strongest man, Mark Henry. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. Thanks for the intro, man.
No, of course, man. I can usually nail these on the first try, except for when I'm in Paul Heyman's presence. So that's a rough one, but you soldier on. Not everything's gonna work out perfectly.
Oh, come on now. Don't let Paul get you all flustered up.
Hey, man. He's got that aura to him. We don't all have that world's strongest man aura that we can sort of level the playing field with. But Paul's a great guy.
Always subscribe to the theory that if you have to tell people about your intro, then maybe you don't need one.
All right. Noted. I'll keep that in mind, Mark. Thank you for putting me on game.
Yes, sir.
Now, to start, there's something, I don't know why I forgot to bring this up when we did our last interview about 2 years ago, I want to say it was, but 3 years ago. But there's a clip that I need to just ask you about right off the top. And it's you and Paul White doing commentary on AEW Dark. I'm just going to play you the audio, and I just want to get your reaction in real time, okay?
Yeah.
I'd have been like laying pipe trying to put a hurting on Dante Martin.
Wow. All right. Well, I wasn't going to go there with him, but
not like that. What's wrong with you?
Why is the Big Show trying to lay pipe down on Dante Martin?
You know what? I wish I knew. I think to make people uncomfortable. And you know what? Like the old school ribbing, making the young kids uncomfortable was always a big thing in wrestling. Mm-hmm. You know, like you say you're going to do it, but you're not going to do it. You just get it, keep people on eggshells. That don't wash in this modern day of wrestling.
Uh-huh. AEW Dark was its own beast, and I have a soft spot for it. But Paul, wherever you are, please keep your pipe to yourself, sir. The world is not meant to see that. The news came out about very recently, I think in the last week or two, that your son, Jacob Henry, has sort of followed in your footsteps and signed a WWE NIL deal. What does it mean for you to see him sort of, I guess, now take on the new family pursuit?
Well, I mean, Jacob's got a lot of interest. Like his number one interest right now is playing football for the University of Oklahoma and getting on the field and showing that he belongs, at that high Division I level. Secondly, his love for pro wrestling has been there since he was a little kid. 3 years old, 4 years old. He would grab my titles. He had every action figure known to man. Mm-hmm. And the advantage of him having action figures is he used to actually see all the people. Mm-hmm. So he would, tell them, I have your action figure. And every wrestler always said the same thing. Do I win? Do you have me win? And he's like, yes. I said, no, you don't. But he always, it was a prerequisite at my house that I had to win. Except for when it was either John Cena or Cody Rhodes.
Okay. You give those two guys a pass.
Those were his favorites until me and John Cena got into it, and then it was all dad. But he loved wrestling, and he loves wrestling. He studies wrestling, and he's going to be a very good wrestler. I don't have a doubt whatsoever because of what he's willing to put into it. And Jacob sings. Jacob is a singer. He loves singing. He loves being on stage. He loves performing.
Okay.
I can see him doing a lot of things, but wrestling is definitely one of them.
Okay. Well, not to bring this up again, but speaking of pipes, who's got the better vocal pipes in the household, you or Jacob?
Oh, Jacob by far.
Okay.
Like, I mean, this dude reads music and like was the lead singer in a band for 5 years.
Okay.
So like he's an accomplished musician. Me, I if you've got a wheelbarrow and you load it up, the best vocal arrangements, I could not carry it in a wheelbarrow.
Well, that's why you're behind the DJ decks, Mark.
Hey, I can mix it, I can blend it. I can put some serious drops out there, get the people going, but no sir, can't sing.
As far as the WWE's developmental process is sort of rapidly evolving now. On top of NXT, we have the WWE ID program, the Next in Line program, which your son's a part of, and the difference between two is the ID is more sort of geared towards independent wrestlers, NIL more geared towards college athletes looking to make that first-time transition. I don't know how informed you are on those two developmental programs, but to the degree that you are, what would you say is the biggest difference in the training philosophies between them? What WWE wants to teach each individual sort of grouping?
Well, the next in line is very easy. Those are the Nepo babies. Those are the kids that have come from the world of wrestling. Their father, their mother, their uncle, their dad's brothers, cousins, uncles, friend.
We got Scott Steiner's kid in there.
And got them in, and they have the potential for being a quality wrestler in the future. Size, good looks, education, experience, and love for pro wrestling. The next program, I mean, that's the next step program. Mm-hmm. The ID program is wrestlers that are currently on the independent circuit. They have experience. They've wrestled for multiple companies. Mm-hmm. They travel. That's how they make their living. And the WWE actually sees potential in them. And if you tighten the screws and fix a few things, those people could actually be top of the line pro wrestlers. And NXT, that's the performance center. That's the people that they've picked and brought in, and now those people are training to be the next superstars that you see at NXT. And that's the farm league, the AAA, if you will, of pro wrestling, and where they're creating the superstars in their own image. And a lot of those people have become the main eventers at WrestleMania. So if that's the template, then that's where you want to be.
I really appreciate you just outright putting Nepo Baby out there. I think I'm a little less into the Nepo Baby craze than like some of my peers in my generation.
Do you watch Raw?
I am behind on this week's Raw. What are you referring to specifically?
Okay, well, I'm just going to name a couple.
Oh, please.
You got Charlotte Flair.
Yes.
Who comes from wrestling. Dad was a phenomenal Mount Rushmore type wrestler. Randy Orton. Dad. Not the main event wrestler of his career, but Hall of Famer.
Bob Hart. Yeah. Good old cast, Bob Orton.
Cody Rhodes, his dad was arguably one of the top 10 greatest wrestlers of all time and top 5 in promos. And what does he excel in? Charisma and promos. The apple does not always fall far from the tree. And there's the Rey Mysterio and
Braun Breaker. There's so many.
There's 20 wrestlers in the world, in the system, that are that. And not just at WWE, but AEW and New Japan and every other company. And we're not even going to get into the bloodline.
Well, and I was going to say, I think
so many of them that, we would need more time.
There's sub-factions and sub-factions and sub-factions now.
Yeah. So it's actually an important part of pro wrestling. And I better say Natty Neidhart, because she'll get so mad and cuss me out when she hear this. But there's a ton. We could sit here and we'd be blue in the face. So why would you not put an emphasis on what's expected of you in pro wrestling. Those are the people that are going to actually be on their better behavior because of where they came from and not wanting to put a stain on the family name. So you have people that are willing to sacrifice and do the right things. That's the most important part of nepotism in wrestling, is the fact that the name means more than you do, and you want to make sure that you uplift that name. So the next one that has it will have a quality footing in the wrestling industry if they choose to do it.
I was actually, I'm completely in lockstep with you here. I think pro wrestling is one of those weird ones where, like, it's cool to have family legacies, like you said, with the Bloodline, with the Rhodeses, soon to be with the Henrys. And at the end of the day, if you can't stand on your own 2 feet, the audience is going to let you know. So you can only get so far.
Now, for everyone that I named, there's probably 50 that I can name that didn't make it. But there's some that are doing other things in wrestling. You know, Tugboat's son, Berkeley is in production. Like, so there's a side of wrestling that you could be a part of. Referees, man, like our industry is tailor made for us, and you have to be, when you see somebody come into wrestling and they didn't have a leg up to get in, and they succeed, they work their rear end off. You hear me? Like they were able to. Those people are the ones that, you know, the Bianca Belairs of the world. Yeah, like I opened the door, but she went in and she took it over. She kicked everybody's chair out from under.
I don't think there's a superstar who, I don't know if anyone has picked it up at such a high level as quickly as Bianca Belair did. It always amazes me how
one of the most impressive athletes I ever saw. And not only, but her personality and the fact that her first day in wrestling, they grilled her and said, "Okay, where did you train?" My daughter is like that. If she tries it a couple of times, she could do it.
Okay.
There's some people that just have a level of athletic ability that everybody else just don't have, man. And I've seen it. Randy Orton, I don't think that I ever saw Randy fail. I was there on his first day, the first time he got taught what a lockup was, a headlock. He ran the ropes the first time, and we all were like, okay, you've been practicing. He had just got out of the military. He had no wrestling experience. Matter of fact, he rebelled against wrestling from his dad. Was not a fan. So I'd have to say that the Bianca Belair and Randy Orton, Shelton Benjamin are probably the quickest people I ever saw take it up.
Okay. Last thing on Jacob's soon-to-be budding wrestling career. You, I think, signed your WWE contract in March. We get to about June, and we see him join the NIL program. Since we talked about the nepotism, was there a direct correlation between you returning to WWE and Jacob getting this NIL deal?
Not at all. Not at all. Like I actually not rebelled in signing with WWE. I was so focused on making All Caribbean a pro wrestling company and not an indie company that I didn't want my time distracted. And when I got the call, I told them, like, I'd love to join you guys, but I got so many other irons in the fire that I don't want to derail what I'm already doing. And they said, it won't. Like, we just want you to be back in the fold and a part of what we do, because we see how hard you're working in the pro wrestling space. And we just feel like that's a proper move to make. And I was all for it, but I said I can't unless, I can continue to do what I'm doing because I'm not gonna, stop with All Caribbean, and I don't want to be limited by anything. And they said it won't affect anything that you're doing. If you want to go DJ, hey, go DJ. If you want to be the CEO of All Caribbean Wrestling, do it. Like we don't want to get interfere. And the fact that I said, listen, I'm critical about WWE programming on Busted Open. So like if that's going to get in the way, nothing. We want your criticism.
Beautiful.
Because they listen, and that's all that told me. They value the opinion, and every opinion that I make may not hit the mark, but it's based off the way that I see things, in my opinion, not always fact. Now, if I say, hey, this is a fact, then they have to eat that because I'm not gonna lie, and I'm not gonna act like something was great when it was right. And I'm not gonna be the one that tries to put a black eye on the gang if that's a thing too. Still, they don't say that no more. The young lingo is probably different, but
it's already starting to escape me, Mark. I'm about to turn 30.
Hey man, well, wait till you get 50. Yeah, you'll be out of the loop. Okay, but I don't want to embarrass wrestling. I want to make wrestling better. I'm competitive with Hollywood. I think we're better. I always did. So it's like I'm competitive. I want our business to be the best entertainment brand around the world. And the last thing that I'm going to do is, make that, make that not my mission. So, I'm all for pro wrestling being great, but I don't want to be limited in my abilities.
Well, this was a perfect segue. Before we dive into All Caribbean Wrestling, I was curious. These WWE Legends contracts are very vague. I don't
have a Legends.
Oh, you don't have a Legends contract.
No,
so we got to correct
a
Wikipedia here.
Deal.
Oh, what? Sorry?
I have a nostalgia deal.
Oh, okay.
I have a business deal.
So what does that look like to the degree that you're able to share in terms of like what you do with WWE and what they expect of you?
You know what? Video games, action figures, appearances, corporate meetings, upfronts, different things to that effect is what I do. Cool. The showing up on television and going and do community activations and so forth, and being a part of a lot of what the skits and so forth. That's more of the legends, going to the Hall of Fames and different things, and I don't do that.
Okay, let's dig into All Caribbean.
Do that, then we could talk about it, but that stuff is going to take days out of my year, and it will affect All Caribbean because like they have a pay-per-view the same time that we have our pay-per-view. So I'm going to leave my pay-per-view or not go to my pay-per-view, and that's going to be on Triller, by the way, at Fight TV.
No, this is good. This is exactly the direction we're heading with this conversation, Mark. You plug away, my man.
I have to do me. Yeah. And that's going to come first. And we're blessed that we actually have a WWE ID wrestler that's going to be wrestling on our card. And I love the fact that I'm allowed by the WWE. Thank you, WWE, for allowing us to have a relationship with Evolve and the ID program, headed by Gabe Sapolsky, who will be in the Caribbean on June 28th, doing a seminar for us. So like I feel very valued to have this opportunity, and I know that pro wrestling is going to be better because of what I'm doing.
Let's talk about it. Can you walk? When I see All Caribbean Wrestling and I think of Texas native Mark Henry, what is the genesis of All Caribbean Wrestling? What is the mission statement?
20 years ago, I told my wife and a close friend of mine that I would love when I retire to have my own wrestling company and to be able to do stuff the way I wanted to do stuff and not have to be told what to do or have ideas that I suggest be used for other people. And that was, that was the thing. Like I'm a creative mind, and I made suggestions all the time. Fell on deaf ears for me, but somehow my idea got used for somebody else. And I'm like, shit, I want to do my own thing. And that was what did that. And now I have the opportunity to do that because I scouted several black companies. I have a good relationship with every last one of them because I wanted more opportunity to be made in the production and lighting, sound and tech and grips and the travel of pro wrestling because there is a place for everyone. And I wanted people to have those opportunities. I was blessed by the fact that I got in the room in not just in athletics, but in the business world. I was able to get in the room. A lot of people that look like me don't get in the room. They never have an opportunity. They don't see representation of themselves. And that was one of the things that like I'm trying to get a statue before I die, man. I want a street named after me. Not because I was a good wrestler or went to the Olympics or I was the strongest man in the world or the father of the year or whatever it is. I want it because I gave back to the business that I love and I helped people that were less fortunate and that was underserved. And that would make my life and my existence a bonus. And the people, the Booker T's of the world, and Darius Lockhart's, and Jeff Brazel's, like those guys, I reached out to and I said, I've been watching your programs, and I know them very well, very well, and these are things that you can fix. They didn't ask me to do anything. I did it because it entertains me, because I wanted to do it. And I did it because I also wanted to get reps and experience doing something at a high level with high level companies. And in Northeast Wrestling, Michael Lombardi is another confidant and a guy that I take a lot of value. The MLWs, the Kurt Bowers of the world, people that I talk to, the Alex Greenfields, and people that they know wrestling from a business standpoint, and that's who I wanted to talk to. Why would I talk to somebody that's just had enough money to get a ring and put some ring skirts together and book talent? No, I want the business acumen. And so that's what I sought out to help. And All Caribbean Wrestling already existed before me. It's just that JB, or Jeff Brazel, is, he said, man, I'm very honored that you respect what we've created enough to come in and comment and give me these blessings, because those are things I didn't know. And I said, that's why I'm doing it, because I want you to know. And he said, well, man, why don't you come in and help me and run this? And I'm like, man, listen, I'm not trying to step on nobody's toes. I'm trying to get going. He said, man, I want you to join me. And I was invited in. And there's a lot of things that they were doing right, but there were some things that were that were wrong from the standpoint of they just didn't know better because they weren't exposed to what I knew and who I knew and who I learned it from. And it just was a match made in heaven because, one, you go into a community that you see people that look like you, and it's not governed by what happens in the states. So I'm able to go and sit with the government in the Bahamas, in Jamaica, in Trinidad, in Puerto Rico, in Dominican Republic, in Belize, and places where people go, oh my God, it's so beautiful, man. I love to go. But there are serious Philadelphia, Dallas, New York, New Jersey type wrestling fans. I mean, they love wrestling. And why would I not go to where people that look like me and they want me there? I don't have to go and pose and try to push my way in. I'm invited in.
You wouldn't have a hard time pushing yourself in, Mark, if you needed to.
Well, if I got to push, I got to
invited.
push. I still got it. I still got
Sir.
it. But I don't want to have to.
Of course.
Everybody want to be wanted. And all Caribbean wrestling wanted me. And I wanted them. And that's what happened. And man, we're making success. There's not many companies outside of WWE, AEW, New Japan. There may be MLW that have an app, that have TV deals, that are on Fight, doing shows on Triller, and you can go to our app, the All Caribbean app, and get on Roku and find us. There's a lot of wrestling on TV that you see that they don't have deals like we do. We're on the rise, and we're going to get some other investors and sponsors, and we're going to be able to pay our people more. We're going to be able to not be a Mark Henry, JB mom and pop. We're going to grow, and it's growing now. So I'm excited for what's in the future.
Mark, 9 times out of 10, a plug is just a plug, and then sometimes you get a beautiful, thoughtful answer like that. So thank you. Do you have time for me to just run you through one more kind of newsy question and just like a quick fun segment?
Yeah. Beautiful.
I would just love your opinion on what's going on with R-Truth. What's the takeaway from WWE and TKO's end about how this R-Truth situation played out? What should be their takeaway?
Well, no, my opinion is a futile argument. And I don't go by what is futile. I want the life comment. And the life comment is the fans chose Truth. They love him. They respect him. They're entertained by him. And when he said that he was gone, people were like, no. That's the world of pro wrestling. We want what we want. We love what we love. And if you're not going to give us what we want, we're going to go somewhere else and get it. The WWE did not want that smoke. They didn't want the fans to be like, this is a guy that was #1 in t-shirt sales.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to get rid of him? This is a guy that just the week before had a match against your champion and got as much of a reaction as the champion did walking to the ring. This is a guy that he had 3 matches in the year prior, but he was still able to go to the ring and have everybody in the building cheer him.
Mm-hmm.
I dare you to name another wrestler that happened to this year. I'll wait. because it didn't. When the fans choose you, you're a made man, you're a made woman, and Truth is one of those made people that even if he doesn't wrestle every night, he can go in, he can walk in the frame and go, "Oh man, I'm ready for my match." Like, who is it? I'm ready. And they go, "Truth, you're on SmackDown. This is Raw. Or you're on Raw. This is SmackDown. Oh, my bad." And you have an entertainment segment and you can keep going with your show. He added value to that program. And you're gonna get rid of that? Those are the emotional things in wrestling. Wrestling is a business that's based off feeling. And I know we big old grown men and we talking about feelings, but how the Vince McMahon always said that perception is reality. You have to learn how to, the way people view you and the way people see is what you want to give them. The fans love what Truth gave. And they were pissed off that they were going to lose it. And the WWE did the right thing.
Beautiful. Mark, on the way out here, you are the world's strongest man. I have a few other worlds, blah, blah, blah categories. I just want you to fill in the wrestlers for me, okay?
All right.
All right. Now, people used to love getting on Mark Henry's bad side. Who has the world's strongest rib game in pro wrestling?
Oh, my gosh. I would probably have to say Big Show is still a ribber. He still likes to play ha-ha. And he makes you mad, and then he laughs, and then you laugh, and it's over with.
Who in pro wrestling has the strongest odor game? Who just reeks?
Boogeyman.
Well, it's at least...
Woo! He don't have the odor. He have the oh dear.
Well, it works with the gimmick, so I appreciate the consistency.
It's part of the gimmick. He's dead.
Who's the world's stiffest wrestler that you've been in the ring with?
The world's stiffest wrestler. So this is going to sound very arrogant, but I was over, so I got to work with people that were really good. And the people that are usually young or just don't get it are the ones that will knock the hell out of you. And I didn't work with them. So I wouldn't be the one to ask.
I would I'd humbly advise, if I could have, any young guys getting in the ring with Mark Henry to maybe
I bite.
Be mindful of, yeah.
If I listen, part 2 of my killing spree will start if one of my teeth come out.
Last couple here. Who has the world's strongest appetite? Who is just demolishing catering?
You know, I'm not in the current catering, but
back in the day, even
back when you remember Ezekiel Jackson?
Yes, sir. How could you not? Enormous human being.
Listen, man, I used to pick on him so bad that he would, man, after his match, he would shower and he would go to catering and post up. And then afterwards, they used to, you remember the little pre-made peanut butter sandwiches?
Yes, sir. I'm going on an overnight hike tomorrow. I got to make like 10 of those to prepare.
Listen, he would go get go to catering and get the leftover boxes that were in catering and put them in his bag. I'm like, bro, like those are for next week. Nah, son. They coming home with me. Big Z, that's my guy.
Clearly did not hurt the physique.
Who is from Guyana, who is somebody that I want to come and work in All Caribbean. Because I saw that he was training again.
Will you provide the pre-packed peanut butter sandwiches?
What are they? Jams, I think. No,
are they the Uncrustables or whatever?
Crustables.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah,
I got you.
Yeah, that's what I'm paying him with.
Okay, perfect. Big Zeke, you heard it here first. Get over to All Caribbean Wrestling, maybe in time for Baja
All
Bash
the
2 on June
Uncrustables you can
28th.
eat.
Mark, if there's anything you want to leave the people with, I'd love to give you the last word.
Hey man, I just want people to support All Caribbean Wrestling. And you know, we had some issues with things that were All Caribbean before I got there, and you know, those things are being resolved. Like the problems or issues, um, they're being resolved. They're being worked out. I'm not going to have it any other way. I'm not going to put my name on something that I don't 100% unequivocally say, boom, we good. And we weren't good, but we worked through it. People in places took punishments and are seeking help. You know, like, so we making efforts. I'm not going to sit here and give everybody the, you know, what happened and what everything in line. Big companies don't do that. They apologize and they move forward, and they try to rectify the fact that something negative happened, and it's going to happen in every industry. We just talked about WWE having a problem. If it'll happen there, it'll happen at All Caribbean, but it's how you deal with it. And we've dealt with it very, very well, I think. And we have people that have work to do for image purposes, but for the most part, I love where I'm at. I love what we're doing. I love how we're growing. We have a kid activation on Friday, the 27th. Mark Henry Strong Kids, and I'll send you the flyer. I've been doing Mark Henry Strong Kids since 2016. So we have our event in the Caribbean on the 28th, but on the 27th we have the Mark Henry Strong Kids event, and that is something that I've been doing since 2016. And I worked kids out. I ran kids club in college. Like, I've always had this passion for kids learning the world of physical culture. And we're going to do that in the Caribbean on the 27th, the day before Baja Bash 2. And I'm looking forward to that. We have some local athletes that are going to be helping us. And some of the All Caribbean wrestlers are going to be there to help push and help us herd the kids. But man, I love it. It's going to be a good time. I'll send you the flyer just so you can see what it is that we do. And if you can post it, man, I would really appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. I'll put it in the description. I'll share it around. Anything you need.
So I'm looking forward to going and hanging out with the kids, and I teach them to be strong, not just physically, but mentally, because a lot of these kids get bullied, and they need to know the tricks of the trade to keep from being bullied. And the WWE had a campaign called "Be a Star," where the anti-bullying campaign, and we have one at All Caribbean now, and it's called Mark Henry Strong Kids. And those kids also learn how to compete. And there's losing, there's winning and losing. So you have to be taught how to do both of them with grace. Don't win and beat your chest too much. I believe that you should show out a little bit, but don't be a pest. And when you lose, there are people that are gonna cry. In Strong Kids, we go and pick them up and say, "Hey, now you just got to get better. You know where you need work. You learn something," and that's important in my eyes. You don't just go to a community and take. You leave something behind, and that's All Caribbean. We're gonna leave stuff behind.